Yes, brothers and sisters, hope everyone's well. Hope everyone's blessed. Hope everyone's had a nice day. I've just watched me a one of those backyard street fighting brawls things. Now, I'm not going to give it any stick, any abuse, none of such sorts. But I'm going to give my opinion on it because I can. Now, first of all, the two lads who were fighting in like Harris fencing, I thought were well matched. I thought it was a good fight to watch. And as I've probably said before, I love to watch fights. Fights of all description, fights of all formats and rule sets and disciplines. I love watching fighting. I can watch fighting till the cows come home. If I'm conversing with somebody over here, doesn't matter how interesting or how riveting the information is that's being dispensed, and there's a fight going over here, I'm over here. It gets my attention 10 times out of 10. Now, like I said, the two lads were well matched. They were well matched. It was a good contest. However, the format, the rule set for that matter, I thought was rather difficult to fathom. There was talk that they were allowed to headbutt, elbow. At one point they were kicking each other, and when someone was on top of someone on the bales, they were sort of sometimes allowed to bray into them and continue fighting. Other times the action was being stopped. So I wasn't certain what the actual rule set was. Like I say, at one point they were kicking each other. Sometimes allowed to fight in the bales, sometimes not. Headbutts, elbows, kicks, as I've mentioned. So what was the rule set there? It was a good fight to watch, but what was the actual rule set that was in place there? Because to me, it wasn't clear. There was a bit of effort made. It looked like there was some sort of soft mats or some padding on the ground, hay bales and some Harris fencing to keep the lads in a certain area, which I didn't think was the worst idea in the world. But was it a street fight? More like a street fight than a bare knuckle fight. But street fighting is all in. That might have been all in. And if it was all in, then there isn't any need for a fair play man. If you're having an all-in fight with somebody, the only time you need anybody to intervene is when one of you is done. And the other one's not going to keep kicking you while you're on the ground. So, rule set I was very unfamiliar with. The whatever format it was, I didn't know. But it was a good fight. The lads weren't talented fighters by any stretch of the imagination. No, they looked like novices, but they were well matched. They were both on the same level. So it was entertaining. They're the fights that you want to watch when two lads are well matched. And listen, I enjoyed watching it. As I've said, I loved watching fighting. But I don't know what the rule set was. I don't think anybody in there really knew what the rule set was. But listen, it was entertaining. What can I say? I was entertained by watching it. And it's as simple as that. Like I've said previously, I still think you're going to need some medical professionals there, in a fight of that format. Because, what do you do if somebody gets badly sparked? Not just like dropped and, can't beat the count. I'm on about, when I've seen fights of that nature, all-in type fights, people don't wake up. I've seen it before. People go down and they don't wake up. What are you going to do then? Because it's going to take a while, to get an ambulance there. And if nobody's trained in that field, They could be laying there for half an hour, 40 minutes. You know, there still seems a big element of danger there. However, I was entertained, even though I was unable to figure out the rule set. I thought it was entertaining. And if there's a couple more on, I'll watch them. How's that? Hey, boom, there it is.